Hey, what's going on, guys? Tone Fernandez here, coming to you live from Chicago, Illinois. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about some social media mistakes that I see a lot of marketers do, and it really hurts them from generating leads. And I don't come to you from a place of I think I'm better or I do it better. I've been in that place where I used to do it wrong myself. So today, I wanted to come on here and guide you guys who are watching this video on what not to do, especially for you beginners if you're new to utilizing social media for your business, or maybe if you're new to your business. When I first started, I'll be honest with you, I started my business. I was so excited, and that excitement turned into just me spamming my links, talking about the wrong stuff. And I didn't realize that, social media is a powerful tool if used correctly. So my whole life's purpose after I started my business, after I created full-time income, was like, how can I pay it forward? How can I teach people the things that I did wrong? And one of the things I do is I love to come on here live. I love to just share value with people so that you don't repeat the same mistakes that I did. And I created a brand from it, Social Lead Hub. Social Lead Hub is just a brand that help home-based business owners, direct sales representatives, network marketers on the tools and resources to generate leads online. And today's specific topic, guys, if you're tuning in and you know some people that are in direct sales, you know some people who are going to be, have done some of these mistakes, tag them or, share this video, hit that share button below. But I don't want to take too much of your time today because I got my baby girl right here, and I guarantee you any second now she's going to start crying. So I got to get this out the way. So the number one thing that I see, Facebook changes their algorithm every now and then, meaning that they have a certain set of guidelines that they want you to follow, and if you don't follow them, they show your post to less people. And back in the day, posting 3 to 5 times a day was good, and Facebook changed the algorithm. So now, if you want your post to get traction, 1 time a day, 2 times a day is when you can post. Now, for those of you who love posting consistently, one of the alternatives that I will recommend is use your Facebook stories to post, a lot of what you're doing your day in, day out. In my opinion, as I started to notice that algorithm change, I said, you know what? Facebook main timeline is going to be for my big value. And then my stories are going to be for my smaller, what I'm doing, having fun, little things here and there. So don't allow your post to compete. When you have post after post after post, Facebook shows all of them. What I tell you, she's going to start crying. It's going to show all of them to less people instead of having one powerful post that they show to more people. So number one is don't have your posts compete. 1 or 2 good posts. Number two, I see a lot of new marketers, especially network marketers, they use funnels wrong. And the reason is their perception of funnels is completely wrong. They think that a funnel does all the work for you. And it doesn't. You still have to spark interest in people. You still have to provide value. You still have to have good posts. And then you lead people to a funnel. And what that does is it makes it easier for people to enter their information and to go through a process. So a funnel doesn't do the work for you, but a funnel captures the information easier. And the reason I bring this up, a lot of times I talk to new marketers and I say, okay, what do you want to do? Where are you at? And like, yeah, I want to do funnels. And I say, you don't need to be there yet, So I'm looking at your content. Your content that's where we need to start, because what a funnel does is when you have a call to action on your post, let's say you do a Facebook Live or a video and you say, hey guys, if you want more information, here's my free giveaway. That's where the funnel comes in. The funnel just allows to automate that giveaway, but it doesn't do all the heavy lifting for you. The heavy lifting comes in the form of value. So I want you to remember 2 things. Number one, you got to provide value. Number two, out-teach your competition. Your competition is pitching, pitching, pitching. You got to teach, teach, teach. And then the third thing is invest, learn, teach. Invest time and energy in learning things, right? Learn those specific tasks and then reteach it. That's all you got to do. And I guarantee you that is going to draw more eyeballs on top of you, more eyeballs to your social media, and more eyeballs into your information. Then you can lead them to the funnel afterwards. Number three, how to inbox, right? And one of the big things I teach is outbound. I love messaging people. And what I see is too many people in the message, the initial messages, and I understand building rapport and all that. And to be honest with you, I'm to the point where, yes, I'll build rapport. But if I see an opportunity where somebody may, be looking for something or want my product or service, I'm going to see if they're open to it first. But what I see a lot of new marketers do is they pitch in their first inbox message. Hey, we have this binary, blah, 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 investment, blah, blah. Nobody knows what binary is. Nobody knows an investment. Nobody knows what none of that is. You're turning your audience off by pitching in the first. Now, am I not saying don't be aggressive? No, be aggressive, but ask if they're open first, right? Hey man, I saw your profile. I'm working on some stuff, man. Just curious, you open to something? Right? Ask them first because people are more, nah, I'm like, oh, cool, man. Appreciate your time. But if I'm pitching a binary, because and the reason I say this is I recently this week I had like 6 or 7 people inbox me and the most awkward message because they're not being humans, right? They inbox me about their opportunity. I say, no, I'm good. Then they pitch me another reason why, a fact about their company. And I'm like, are we having the same conversation here? Because he's pitching and I'm just saying, having a conversation. And it just creates a bad environment. So if you're new network marketer, home-based business, just ask if they're open. Hey, are you even open to looking at my product, service, or opportunity? So that was number 3. Number 4, there's no process behind closing. So yes, social media is great for getting eyeballs and getting people to interested in what you're doing. But what a lot of people don't realize is you have to have a process right afterwards. So for example, let's go through the system flow, the flow of you getting a lead. So you go on social media, you post some bomb information, some great information that says, hey guys, this is my products, this is this is the facts, and people love it. And then people go on to the comment section or they inbox you and they say, hey, man, I like what you're doing. And then you just send them a link to go buy something, right? And then you're wondering, okay, why haven't I proceeded past this level? It's because sending a link wasn't the answer for you, right? Sending a link is people look at it and then what do? They get distracted at home and then they never buy your product, sign up for your opportunity or whatever. So what is your process? So what sales mechanism are you going to use past the initial interest in the inbox? Are you going to jump on a Zoom call, right? That's what I love to do. I love jumping on Zoom. Hey, I want to see you. I want to see, I want you to feel my energy. I want to hear you. And then if I got to share my screen, I can share my screen. Is it a phone call? Is it a face-to-face? So you have to clearly identify your sales mechanism. And here's what I was doing. Just having a conversation with my significant other about business. And I said, once you understand what your sales process is and what mechanism you're going to use, the information that comes out of your mouth becomes seamless because you know where you're going. But what happens is you see a lot of people who have information that's choppy because they don't know what to do afterwards. So they're like, well, if you want to reach out, if you want to, no, hey, listen, give me your information, we'll connect, and I'll send you my Zoom link. Boom, seamless process. And then that's where you close. And what happens is that conversion ratio, if you're struggling, I was having a conversation on a group the other day, and I was giving somebody advice, and I was like, well, what's your sales process, right? And they were like, well, and I was like, what's your conversion ratio? And they didn't know any of that. So keep track of who's coming in, what your process is, and then how much of an increase that your conversion went up from, the people that you talk to the people that close. And you're going to see that you're going to have a lot more closes. I'll give you an example. I've been revamping every week my close process. Went from 1 to 2, and this is in particular products. I didn't, it was a brand new product to start. I was like, how do I do this? Week 2, 5. Week 3, 10 to 15. So that's the process. You're going to see an increase. And what happens is, once you have a system and a process and you're repetitive with it, you're putting in reps, you become better, and you become better. So number 4 is make sure you have a closing process. The biggest mistake is I see people who don't. And number 5, only relying on passive marketing, right? Put a post up. Oh man, I got 300 views. I got 40 comments. But then you leave it there. If you leave it up to the other people, they're not going to do anything. There's very few conversion rate when you just post. Posting is passive, right? Posting, it reaffirms your message. Posting puts you out there in front of more eyeballs. But you got to make sure that you're doing outbound stuff, right? Messaging people on a daily basis. If somebody likes your comment, likes your post, comments, hey, start dialogue with them. Hey, I appreciate you jumping on my live. How are things going, right? And what ends up happening is you can bring up that conversation. Hey, by the way, is there anything particular that you're seeing on my live that you had any additional questions about? Oh, yeah, hey, I know you mentioned this, and this. And now you could take that to the closing process, what I mentioned before, but do not just rely on inbound. Oh, people add me as a friend. People see my views. Go outbound, right? Engage with your audience. Message them. Comments on their posts, right? Facebook loves when not only is it, you receiving stuff, that you create content and you receive a lot of dialogue, but they like when you put dialogue out there. And what happens is they'll put your content in front of more people. So don't just rely on inbound and in passive. Rely on outbound too. Have a daily set of how many messages you're going to send, right? And make sure that that message is right underneath the amount that Facebook won't put you in jail, right? So if it's 25 a day, hey, I'm going to reach out to 25 people. If it's adding 10, 15 friends, hey, that's 10, 15 outbound friends. If it's commenting, is it spending half hour commenting on 15, 20 posts? Comment on. If it's following 20, 30 people, go follow 20. What happens is when you put it out there outbound, a wave of people come back to you, right? Like I added a bunch of friends the other day in my target market, and I saw like out of the 100 people that I added in the last, few days, a wave of them came back to me and it created dialogue. And then the rest of them, I reached out to them. And what ends up happening is you're in more conversations. You see, a lot of people in network marketing, home-based business, direct sales, they rely on those one or two conversations. When I coach people, this is a frustrating thing, but I see it repetitively, is like, hey, let's say I'm having a coaching conversation with one of my clients. Like, hey, man, so how did your week go? Hey, man, I tried this strategy that you were teaching and it didn't work and I'm frustrated. The next follow-up question is, well, how many people did you try that on? Well, I had two people. I said, you're not giving yourself enough chances to make it work. You got to realize that business is the law of large numbers, right? The scripts only give you the best opportunity to convert, but they're not 100% proof. No script is, right? You're just giving yourself the best opportunity to convert with the best verbiage. But it's on that other person if they want to bite on it or not. So what you got to do, you got to put it in your favor. You got to talk to more people. You got to go outbound and say, okay, this is my outbound stuff and my passive stuff. And this is going to be a shocker for you guys. This is going to be a shocker for many of you guys. Earlier I mentioned one or two posts a day, you'll get more engagement, right? You get more, Facebook likes that. But you need to spend more time on the outbound stuff than you do on creating the content. Right. I was talking to a coach the other day. This guy, he's big in the MLM in Canada and actually all over. And he said, I spend more time on outbound stuff than I do on creating. And he said, don't get me wrong, I create good content. But what I realized is when I reduced the amount of posts that I put out, but I made them better, I got more engagement. But then what ends up happening is when I added more friends, when I had more conversations, those people came to my page. They wasn't full of different stuff and this and that, and people were confused. He said they saw exactly who I was in those posts and they loved my content. So that strategy, that outbound, is going to create a wave of people coming at you that you have more conversations. And more conversations translates to more closing appointments, getting on Zooms or however you close and tying up loose ends, answering any questions, and getting that result of a client, of a sign up or recruit in your business. So I hope that was helpful. Just to summarize, number one, don't have your posts compete. Don't do 5, 10, 15 posts a day. And use stories for that, for the every minute stuff. Don't just rely on funnels if you're new. Funnels are good, but funnels don't do the heavy lifting. Your content does. Number three, know how to inbox people. And that initial message is important because that initial message is either going to get you, a foot in the door or it's going to get you kicked out. It's going to be like, nah, don't come in here, bro. And number four, have a process behind, just meeting people online. Okay, how are we going to close this deal? Zoom? What's your sales mechanism? Is it a phone call? What is it? How are you going to get on that close? And number five, don't rely on just passive marketing. Go outbound with it. By the way, I have an amazing offer for you guys. So we have over 10,000 hours of courses. We have a CRM, customer relationship manager. We have a funnel creator. If you want to get into that, if I recommend that at that point, depending on what level you're on. We got live weekly webinars in our system. We're doing a 30-day trial for $1. It's a home-based business, network marketing, direct sales training platform from leaders from all over. So we got leaders from all the main, health and wellness, all the companies. They came together on a training platform to teach people social media, lead generation, and marketing. So if you want that $1 trial to test it out, feel free to message me, DM me, or drop in down below in the comments trial. I'll send you the trial link, and there's a challenge. It's a 5-day rejection-free marketing campaign that we have going on, where we'll teach you 5 days of hardcore how to have conversations, what to say, how to avoid rejection, how to find your target market. And again, it's a 30-day trial for those 10,000 hours of, over 40 courses on prospecting, on social media lead generation, on everything that you need. It comes with a CRM and a funnelizer, which is a funnel creator program that we have with trainings for a $1 trial. If that's you, if you want to take your marketing to the next level, if you're tired of just spamming people, having the same conversation that those other million network marketers are having, you want to brand yourself and become an authority, feel free to reach out to me. I'll send you the link. It's a limited time offer. By the way, what I just mentioned comes with about $10,000 worth or $9,000 worth of free giveaways that we're offering you for a $1 trial. So if you want that $1 trial, feel free to reach out to me. As always, your success is important to me. Do me a favor, comment below where you're tuning in from. And also, if you're watching the replay, comment #replay and hit that share button, guys. So appreciate you guys. Have an amazing Thursday.